Hey folks, Mike Johnson here. If it's got wheels and an engine, you're in the right place. On this channel, we dive into car repairs, maintenance tips, and everything you need to keep your ride running smooth. If you're into cars and want to keep learning, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. It really helps the channel out. All right, enough talking. Let's get into it.
Manifold Absolute Pressure, MAP, mass airflow, MAF, and throttle position, TPS, sensors monitor engine air intake in different ways. The MAP sensor measures air pressure in the intake manifold, while the similarly named but different MAF sensor calculates engine airflow volume, and the TPS sensor indicates throttle position in the throttle body. For probably 20 years now, engineers have been building algorithms into engine control software to perform what are known as rationality checks. If, for example, the engine is thought to be idling on the throttle position sensor input and the mass airflow input does not increase. When the ECM to PCM increases the idle air control percentage to increase idle speed, the ECM to PCM is programmed to see this as an anomaly. Similarly, if the throttle position sensor indicates that the throttle plate is opening, but the mass airflow input shows no corresponding increase in airflow, this is an anomaly which will set a code. A discrepancy in the readings of these sensors can contribute to a P0068 code. To find out more about this error code, see our guide below. What does P0068 mean? The Diagnostic Trouble Code, DDC, P0068 stands for Mapped MAF, Throttle Position Correlation. If the readings from one or more of these sensors contradict the data presented by the other devices, the vehicle computer, aka the Powertrain Control Module, PCM, records the OBDII fault code P0068. A discrepancy in the readings of the MAP, MAF, and TPS sensors can trigger code P0068. The criteria for this code vary from one OEM to another, but to calculate an expected airflow, the GM algorithm uses a throttle position, TP, barometric pressure, baro, manifold absolute pressure, MAP, intake air temperature, IAT, engine speed mass airflow, manifold absolute pressure and throttle position sensors provide the rationality control inputs, but there are 4 distinct algorithm models on 2017 GM vehicles. How these algorithms are calculated is not as important as developing an understanding of what rationality checks are, especially when examining data from the live analysis tool. The PCM regularly tests the inputs involved by comparing sensor readings. The reading of each sensor must match the equivalent data on the other sensors, otherwise the PCM may record a P0068 code. The readings from these sensors guide the PCM as it defines how long the fuel injectors remain open and when the spark plugs fire to ignite the resulting air-fuel mixture inside the engine. It will modify these variables to obtain the most efficient fuel-air ratio. Note, although the Society of Automotive Engineers, SAE, has established the generic code P0068, the vehicle manufacturer may propose a different interpretation of the code. What are the possible causes of code P0068? The PCM may set a P0068 code for a variety of reasons. These include defective or faulty MAP sensor, defective or faulty MAF sensor, TPS defective or faulty vacuum leak, corroded or damaged wiring for MAP, MAF, and or TPS sensors, dirty or defective throttle body. PCM problems. A defective or faulty MAP sensor can cause code P0068. What are the common symptoms of code P0068? If one or more of these sensors send inaccurate signals to the PCM, the computer may send the wrong amount of fuel or activate the ignition system at the wrong time. An affected vehicle will display the following warning signs related to code P0068. Check engine light, rough engine performance, G. Irregular idling or poor acceleration, increased fuel consumption. The PCM can also define other codes associated with whatever developed the problem. For example, a faulty MAF sensor may trigger a P1101 code with a P0068. How to diagnose P0068? If your analysis tool displays a P0068 code, take your vehicle to a reliable auto repair shop and ask an experienced mechanic or technician to examine it. However, if you have the skills and tools to diagnose it yourself, here are some diagnostic steps you can try to understand the underlying problem. Check for leaks or loose clamps in the piping from the MAF sensor to the throttle body. Inspect MAP, MAF, and throttle position. Sensor connectors for corrosion and other visible problems. Start engine and test intake manifold for leaks. Check for signs of coke. A dark, oily material inside the throttle body. Run tests on each sensor to make sure they're all working properly. Checking for leaks in the piping from the MAF sensor to the throttle body is one possible way of diagnosing curd. P0068. How to repair curd. P0068. There is no single solution to P0068. The large number of possible causes that trigger the curd makes it difficult to find the right fix. In conclusion, understanding fault code P0068 is essential for diagnosing issues related to the correlation between the manifold absolute pressure and mass airflow sensors, as well as the throttle position. By recognizing the symptoms and potential causes, you can take the necessary steps to troubleshoot and resolve the problem effectively. Regular maintenance and timely repairs can help ensure your vehicle runs smoothly and efficiently. Thank you for watching, and we hope this information helps you tackle any issues related to this fault code.